Okay, hopefully that's loud enough. All right. Hi. Welcome back to the Old Dad Diary. I'm excited. We're like almost done. It's crazy. We're almost done. Um, so far, we're doing a recap real quick. We've done the what. The what is basically the literal things that we obsess over, equipment, blah blah blah, even certain situations. Should I apply for college? Like, you know, small things. Then there's the where. That's literally, can I be someone if I'm here, right? Do I have to leave town? Maybe for artists, they have to go to LA, right? I have to be somewhere to be someone. Don't need to don't need to stress about the where. The when, the timeline. We tend to stress about the timeline. Do I need to basically, do I need to start this time? Do I need to finish? Do I have to always be on schedule? Yada yada yada. Not saying consistency is not okay, but I'm saying no need to obsess over the when as much as you think. The why. I'm excited. The why is what we're doing today. Now, I was debating between these last two because, uh, well, the why is basically the reason to do something. Um, Next week, I'm not going to give the word, but it'll be basically the way to do something. That's not the word, by the way. Anyway, but the reason to do something, the why. Now, we tend to get kind of confused between why and intention. Now, why can literally be any reason we do something, right? It can basically be, you know, I wear bracelets on my right because my mom wore bracelets on her right. Or, I like the smell of gas. It's just in me, Maybe it's just how I was, the why is maybe I was born to like gas. Or maybe someone else in my family likes gas and that was just like genetically passed through me. Um, yeah, the why is it can encompass a lot, Maybe it's the reason you choose to do something, right? Like maybe it's like, I'm going to speak up about this, or maybe like if you are working in the medical field, right? The reason why you did this is because maybe your parents or someone in your family or a friend, they struggle with their health, and so your why is basically that's why I'm in the medical field. This is my reason to keep going, my reason to do this. But intention, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why and intention, but more about why. Now, intention is very intentional, basically. Um, it has a goal in mind, like practice, right? Like let's say you have a recital for a musical piece that you're performing, whatever. Practice, that's intention, right? That's a literal, it's specific. Thank you. It's specific. Thank you. It's very, very specific to a goal. That's what it is. A why is just encompassing, it encompasses all. But intention is a goal. Now, not knowing when to do what, not knowing when to have what, where, and when to need to use your why and when to have intention can definitely spark up some really troubling things. Now, let's talk about firefighters for a second. Let's say a guy wants to be a firefighter, right? Maybe his parents died in a fire, right? And so this is his why. His why is, I want to save people from fires because I didn't have someone to save me, save my parents or save my parents from fire. And then his intention is, okay, I'm going to work out and I'm going to just watch lots of videos on how to save people from fires. The why and the intention are important, but they don't matter as much as you think. Now, I'm not trying to be mean or trying to be harsh. However, that guy, just because that's his reason for doing it, doesn't mean people won't die on his watch. In fact, doesn't mean he would even be a good firefighter at all. See, here's the thing. Just because you have a why doesn't mean your leadership is now absolutely just unbreakable and unpenetrable. See, a why is good, however, it doesn't matter as much as you think. See, I mean, and intention is good too, but it doesn't matter as much as you think. People have good intentions all the time, and still the result is messed up. And that's kind of the difference between a why and intention. A why is it's just about the thing. It's just the reason for it. Intention, it literally has a result in mind. And because it has a result in mind, it tends to be narrow focused. And so because it has that goal in mind and it's not thinking about anything else, it may get its result, but its result may not be profitable. For example, Saul from the Bible. He was, and I'm talking about David Saul, King Saul. He was handsome, right? Very strong, built. He was the perfect man for the job, according to Israel. It was a good why. They had a very good why. I mean, heck, he even, he was favored by the people. He was loved by the people. It wasn't just he was strong and all of that different stuff and had good leadership skills, but he also was favored by the people. He was loved by the people, right? Popular. Let me say that. So they had a good why. However, their intention doesn't matter because it's not about the why as much as you think. That person can do all the right things for all the right reasons, and still the outcome will not be profitable. Now, one thing that eventually happens is Saul, he doesn't listen to God. He disobeys God. And because he disobeys God, it causes a lot of strife for Israel. They get in leagues with having to fight the Philistines and losing to the Philistines before David comes along. See, it's not about the why. And I feel like I've been setting up what the thing that matters, that really does matter. I feel like I've been setting it up for a while throughout all of these subjects. Has all the right things, right? Good qualities, good reasoning behind his actions, except still can't get exactly quite the job done. Why? Why is that? Now, I want to talk about something else, where as far as like, okay, I'll get a little personal. When it comes to being in relationships and all of this different stuff, it is, and I will say this, extremely hard to read a female's mind. It's impossible. However, when you do know what they want, right, it isn't enough sometimes, truly. Sometimes it's like, okay, maybe this is exactly what you want, right? And sometimes they don't actually want you to give them what they want. They just want to, I don't even know how to explain this. They want you to hear them tell you what they want, basically. Initiation is great, it is. However, they're very complicated. I'm not trying to bash women, I promise. But woman is a great example of why isn't always doesn't always matter as much as you think. And even in situations for me of literally doing all of the right things outside of relationships, just whether it's a job or it's being in leadership and doing all of the right things, doing all of the correct things, but being overlooked. And I feel like I'm going to give away what will be a later video, but being overlooked because of how I look or because of, I won't use the word, the person that I'm not. And so the why doesn't always matter as much as you think. I had great intentions, like it's like, okay, I did this right. I have a good heart for the people, except I'm not that person, am I? For you guys. Now, I'm going to bring Jesus into this and I'm like wrapping up. Jesus, he says, You have heard that if you commit adultery, right? That's a good reason for a divorce. But I tell you that if you just look upon a woman with lust, that's that's committing adultery. Now, I can get I think I get the exact verse. I think it's in Matthew 5. Yeah, Matthew 5, 20, 24? Nope, no, 28. 28. But I tell you, 27, you have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Crazy. Like, actions matter a whole lot, a whole bunch. Even to the fact that he's saying in your heart, in your heart. So meaning this is something that you can just choose to do. Your heart, let's be real, let's be honest, it just makes decisions. It sometimes has no logical reason at all. And he says when you make a impure, lustful heart decision, that's committing adultery just by looking at them. Just by in your heart, you're thinking your thoughts, your very thoughts, basically. It's not so much about the why, right? Now it's addressing the person. Now, I do want to say this because I feel like there's going to be some people going, okay, well, are you telling me that like my why is not good enough to keep going or stay consistent? Or my why is like, that's like, what are you saying basically? It doesn't matter as much as you think. Yes. And treat your why as a companion. Let it be something that falls in line with what you do, not something that drives you. And I understand that it's really easy. Here's the thing, though: your whys change a lot, which is why I say don't let it be something that drives you. So I'm saying let it fall in line. You maybe you do something and maybe you don't agree with that why anymore. For example, I'll give you an example. When it comes to, Lord help me, salvation. We talk about this a lot. This is a heavily debated topic. Can you lose your salvation? Can you lose your salvation? Yada 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 yada. If you sin too much, you lose your salvation. It's always a heavy topic. However, truth of the matter is, Jesus says that nothing, neither height nor depth, nor anything above or beneath, nor angels nor demons. However, it is also still a gift. And you have free will whether you believe in that or not. You do. So he doesn't force it on you. And can you not lose it? So what's the issue, right? There has to be what's going on here. Now, in Romans, Paul talks about the person that is walking in sin, that's always consistently sinning over and over. Surely they're not going to heaven. Those are Paul's words. He talks about it a lot in Romans 8, and basically throughout most of his letters, he talks about sin. However, here's the truth. Sin is its own entity, is its own subject. It's not simply just your decisions, your intentions, it's not simply just your why. It is its own entity and it influences you. And every time that you commit sin, every time that sin becomes in your life and it starts to shape your decisions, it influences you to make decisions that affect your soul. So, because you have free will, this is the truth. It is a gift given. Salvation is a gift given. And because it is a gift given, it is also a gift that can be given back. Now you're going, oh my gosh, so you're saying, yes, I can lose my salvation? No. I'm not telling you here right now that you can drop it on your way out and it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I dropped it because I've been so stuck. No. What I'm telling you is if you're thinking you're always scrambling, you're always thinking, oh my gosh, am I saved? Listen, as soon as you give your life to Christ, you're saved. And it is a gift that is given. And sin, if your goal is to get into heaven, you're done. You're good. You're locked in according to the Bible. And because it is a gift given, it is yours. Because it is yours, you can choose what to do with it. This is where sin plays in. Sin influences you over and over for your mind to become more and more numb. Over and over for you to make the decision to go, I'm going to give this back. That's how that works. It's going, I thought I wanted to do this, but it's too hard down here. So I think I feel really good when I'm actually not with you. I'm not suffering as much when I'm not with you. I didn't count the cost. I didn't actually realize this is all that came with giving my life to Christ. So I'm going to give this back. That's what sin does. Sin continuously numbs you over and over and over again for you to go, maybe this is okay, maybe this is okay. And then you just go, yeah, just take it back. Here. See, sin, the best place that you can be is that sin leads you to hate. That's the best place you can be. You're going, whoa, that's a bit harsh. Why is that good? Because hate still cares. And hate still has their eyes on the target. Some of you are doubting your faith. And that's okay. You're going, what is my why? Blah, 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 blah. I hear you. I get it. I've been through it. I have backed away from the faith and came back before. I understand. I'm with you. And, hear me, the why, the simple things of going, okay, because I feel better, because I do all of this, that doesn't matter as much as you think. That is a literal temporary thing. And I don't mean that in, oh yeah, you don't have that much longer on life and then you're going to go to hell and all of that different stuff. No, I mean the literal suffer, like you're going to suffer again from being away from God. That's going to happen. The choice is choose your suffering. What do you want? What do you want to choose? What do you want to suffer with? What do you want to suffer for? Yeah. So just lock in with me. I get it. Hate is better. To tell God every single day, tell him every morning, tell him every night, every time you're doubting, tell him. You're angry at him, you're pissed, whatever. Tell him. Hate him. Now, some of you go, oh, that's demonic. Keep your eyes on him. The worst place that you can be is being indifferent about him. The minute that you don't care, yeah, whatever. That is the most dangerous place that you can be. That you are absolutely indifferent about whether he cares, whether he's gonna save you or not, whether he's not, whether you think, I'll deal with it myself. The minute that you're numb, if I go to hell, I go to hell. If I go to heaven, I go to heaven, whatever. Life is life, love is love. So I know someone's gonna get mad at me for that. But that is the worst place. See, people like to talk about hot and cold, and it's like, oh, it's better to be refreshing or on fire. Sure. And in the Bible, when it talks about hot and cold, it would be better for you to despise God or to absolutely love God. than to pretend you're on either side. You're just going, yeah, I am. I am when I am, and I am when I am. You know, I like, yeah, like I mess with them. You know, I read my Bible sometimes. Yada yada yada. Hear me. I'm not saying you reading your Bible a lot is a determining factor, but I am telling you, if you just read your Bible to check off the list, that might be a sign that you don't really care. Bring that to Him. The worst place you can be is be indifferent. If you are doubting, I'm pleading with you. Go do your research. Find out as much as you can to disprove the existence of God. Go seek all of the evidence that you can. Go find it. Go keep looking for it. Get angry at Christians. I understand persecution is a part of it, but I would much rather you persecute me, tell me all the reasons why you don't believe, why you hate it, why you hate us, than for you to just be like walking along and be like, I don't really care. Now, what I'm not here to say is I don't want you to be upset. I don't want you to be angry. I don't want you to have to deal with all of this different stuff. I don't want you to be depressed. I don't want you to be tormented. However, I definitely don't want you to be okay with being lost, Christian or not. I don't want you to be okay being isolated. Yeah. Like, I think it's good to have an assurance that you are okay by yourself. There's security. However, to never do life with anyone and to be completely okay, separate from the world, might be the biggest trap and biggest lie, because of the fact that it won't last forever. And that is because that you are still a limited human being, meaning you can't sustain you. You will never be able to sustain you forever. For the rest of your life, you won't. But anyway, that is my contention. The why doesn't matter as much as you think. Don't obsess over it. Don't blow your mind over it so much. Because the truth of the matter, let's say you are a Christian, you're like struggling, you're like, oh my gosh, but I do sin and I fall. Hear me. You have to realize when you got into covenant with God, He has His part to fulfill. He has His part that He has to play. Don't worry so much about the why. You're going, I'm doing all this different stuff, yada yada yada, and I'm trying my intention. If your if your intention and why was the checkbook system for you to get into heaven, you would be going to hell. Because of the fact that your intentions and your whys, well, let's say you have good intentions and good whys, could still lead to bad results because you're not the guy for that job. Anyway, yes, I'm done. I'm done now. I love you. Don't stress so much about the why. Let it fall in line. This is the Old Dad Diaries.